So we got some huge information in regards to future updates coming soon to Modern Warfare 3 in terms of classical weapons returning, new features, adjustments to skill-based matchmaking, and so much more. So that's what we're going to talk about and discuss in today's video. If you find it helpful or informative, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you always stay up to date on the latest Call of Duty news and updates. I did make a video earlier today covering today's brand new update. So check that out, link in the description. And yesterday we went over the Season 1 Battle Pass, so if you want to know more about that, that will also be in the description. But anyways, let's go ahead, let's jump into it. We have a brand new Triple XP event. All platforms are going to receive it starting on November 22nd at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is going to be double XP, double weapon XP, and double battle pass XP. If you're on PlayStation, it did start today, and it's going to go all the way up until November 27th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be a great opportunity for those of you guys trying to max out and level up your weapons. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Now, Sledgehammer did a Q&A yesterday where they answered a bunch of questions that players had, and with these answers that they gave us, they actually revealed so much brand new content that's going to be coming into Modern Warfare 3. They also did mention and go over features and items that were not going to make the cut and will not be planned for release in MW3. So let me go over the bad news first. So it says they have revealed they currently have no plans for doing any of these, which is going to be a 1v1 type of mode, custom reticles being added into the game, a third-person playlist. I know I see so many comments of people asking when third person is going to come into MW3 multiplayer. It seems like they're not going to be doing that at all. So the third person will only stay in zombies. And then they also mentioned that the cyber attack mode will not be coming in. They also have no plans to change the covert sneakers, which is the dead silence perk. They feel like it works perfectly just the way that it does. Ping limit filter, they don't want to change that. Headquarters return, it doesn't seem like the headquarters mode is going to ever come back. And then theater mode, they said theater mode requires significant time and resources to implement. Because of this, we currently do not have any plans for it in Modern Warfare 3. That's the bad news in terms of content. Let's talk about what they're actually going to be bringing in and what they're going to be changing. So the first thing is they said that they're working on updating the Groot skin. Someone asked about it, saying it was too hard to see. It was pretty overpowered. They said adjustments to Gaia and the Gaia Black Cell operator skins are in the pipeline for Modern Warfare 3. In a future game update, will disable this item until set changes can be released to all players. So they're going to remove it from the game within an update, rework it, and then at some point later on in another update, they'll end up adding it back into the game. They also said that they plan on adjusting frag grenades. So someone said the blast radius of grenades is really big compared to other explosives. Will the hand grenade be nerfed? They said we're actively investigating a reduction to the maximum damage of frag grenades. These changes will decrease the damage taken by players both at the center and outer edges of the explosion. So that might end up seeing a nerf. The next question that players asked for was streak looping. So they said, have you considered enabling streak looping? It's an option in private match, so it shouldn't be a big deal to enable it in the public playlist. I think it should be rewarded if someone is able to stay on a long streak. Having to die and get another UAV, for example, feels so outdated. There's a reason we left it behind after COD 4. They said this is something that the team definitely wants to try out. One of the cool things about our experimental playlist is that they give us a chance to see how things work out in the wild. Expect to see something like this in a future experimental playlist, and make sure to share your feedback in the survey we place in the MOTD. So this is something that they are considering trying out and messing with in the experimental playlist. As I said before, this experimental playlist is going to be limited time modes that they bring into the game where they try to bring in and adjust brand new features, sort of like a trial or test run to see if it's something that we're gonna like. And if we do and the feedback is great for it and they think it's a good idea, then they'll end up doing it in a future update and implement it to all modes. Now let's talk about some new content coming in as early as the Season 1 update. So someone asked about Gunfight as well as brand new maps, and here's what they said. There will be 6 2v2 maps in rotation in Season 1, including 4 of them being carry forward maps from MW2, and then there will be an all new brand new map called Training Facility, which is going to be available at Season 1's launch. They also have confirmed that Shipment will be among one of these carry forward maps returning as well. So for those of you guys who have been waiting for Shipment's return, that is officially going to come back with the Season 1 update first day, and that's going to be on December 6th. Now, more information in regards to maps. Someone else asked, will we be receiving MW2 2009 DLC maps such as Carnival, Storm, Trailer Park, Fuel? Here's what they said. There are no plans for these specific maps to return at this time. Our seasonal updates will largely be made of all new maps. With the way that they worded it, they didn't say all of them, they said majority of them, so it's gonna most likely be that we will get some remakes. That really brings up the big question is, what are they gonna do for the 20-year celebration? So if they're not gonna be bringing in old remake maps like a lot of leaks were suggesting, is it only going to be limited to the modes and weapons, or were the leaks inaccurate, or it was something that was scrapped and maybe the themes are going to be completely different? But anyway, this is a very big question that someone asked is, will y'all add the Spaz 12? And here's what they ended up responding. They said there are multiple classic weapons from the Modern Warfare series that we're looking to add in future seasonal updates, including shotguns and sniper rifles. So it tells us that there is classical weapons in development that they do plan on bringing in. So many people were requesting the Spaz, the M40A3, the OG version of the Intervention, not the FJX Imperium, the Car 98. I mean, there's so many different weapons that people have been requesting and asking for that hopefully they could be bringing back during the life cycle of MW3, and they have confirmed that a lot of classical weapons are going to come back. One of the big things that many players were asking, I mean, there was thousands of questions in regards to skill-based matchmaking, and they sort of needed to scroll and scroll just to figure out and find a question that didn't have to do or involve with skill-based matchmaking. And if you don't know, devs are not really in charge of that, and they can't really change it, but they can actually do things to alter it in sort of ways. For example, this is what they said: in a future game update, we'll be testing non-disbanding lobbies with a cohort of players to determine the performance of such a change. If these tests go well, we'll explore a rollout to all players. So this is a way to not necessarily remove. For example, if you perform really well in a lobby, you drop 60 kills, everyone else has like 10 kills. Usually what skill-based matchmaking will do is remove you from that lobby because the party will disband, and then it'll throw you into a lobby where other players perform just as well as you did. And that's where the skill-based matchmaking turns into the sweatier lobbies, and people don't like it. But with this feature, if you drop that 60 kills and everyone else is dropping 10, unless the players themselves leave, you will be able to continue playing against those same exact players in that same exact lobby. So basically what you're doing is pausing the skill-based matchmaking until you get into a brand new lobby. So it's not necessarily removing skill-based matchmaking, but it is sort of like pausing it or adding a delay and sort of nerfing it in a way. And I feel like this is a step in the right direction. And personally, with the way that I've been playing MW3, I feel like this is the only issue this game has, and it will be a 10 out of 10 if skill-based matchmaking wasn't such a big issue. But I don't think the dev team can really speak on it too much or can't really say anything about it publicly, which is why they have been so quiet about it for so long. So I feel like this is a step in the right direction. They sort of acknowledge that skill-based matchmaking is overpowered, and with non-disbanding lobbies, it would sort of ease it a little bit. But other than this, they did mention that there was other upcoming changes, and here's everything that they so far listed. So the Gaia grew, increased visibility, which we talked about. The classic weapons, which we talked about. Gun game mode, we talked about. Then there's demolition coming back, which is a mode that we got to see in OG MW2. And then there's also the shipment map, which we talked about. Additional war maps are set to be releasing. With future updates, we can continue seeing more war maps being added. And then they said mostly all new maps and seasonal updates. We talked about that. Final kill cams in hardcore are going to be a thing. Also mentioned that the HUD is going to get some fixes and improvements. The RGL-80 grenade launcher is also set to get a nerf. Same with frag grenades, which we talked about. Scatter mines are also going to get a nerf. And then they talked about SMGs getting a huge buff with the Season 1 update, which I sort of talked about in the last video. Because as of right now, ARs and SMGs aren't really balanced, and the ARs are more favored even in close range than the SMGs are. So they're going to try to buff the SMGs and sort of lower the ARs at the same time to weapon and balance everything out. And today's update was just a small one compared to what's going to happen in Season 1. But other than that, they're also testing the non-disbanding lobbies. They're testing streak looping and then preview finishing moves in the store before you purchase something. That's also something that they're going to test out. But this is everything that they publicly said. There are some things that have been leaked, such as brand new events that are going to be coming in. For example, apparently The Walking Dead is going to be receiving a collaboration with Modern Warfare 3, and we're not exactly sure on the date and all that, but apparently there's some sort of a movie or something coming out during February. I will have more information on that once we get that, and I'll make a video, but it seems like The Walking Dead is going to be a licensed collaboration that we're going to get at some point. There's also the Makarov event, which we're going to be getting probably before the Season 1 update rolls out. It's going to be the same exact way as it is with the COD Endowment event that we sort of have right now, where you'll use the Makarov operator skin from the Vault Edition. If you have it, you'll gain extra XP, and then as you rank up and go through the tiers, you're going to be able to gain rewards and more. But there's even more other events that are scheduled and guaranteed. For example, a Christmas event is scheduled to be releasing with the Season 1 update later on. With that Christmas event, you're going to expect challenges, map changes, rewards, cosmetics themed around it, as well as store updates and license operators themed around the whole seasonal update. But anyways, that's pretty much all that I got for you guys in today's video. If you found it informative or helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you always stay up to date on the latest Call of Duty news and updates. And if anything pops up, I definitely got you guys covered here on the channel.